come down to Brentwood, an extremely rich, exclusive area. At the moment, it's not in an evacuation zone, but just take a look at this. Outside these houses of millionaires, there is a fleet of private firefighting vehicles. A small army, really, standing by, ready to protect some very, very wealthy homes. Now, people have raised a lot of questions about this, about how ethical it is when schools, care homes, ordinary people's houses have been destroyed and the public fire service is struggling. Now, the fires tonight, they're not imminently threatening this area. There is a possibility the wind could blow them this way, but clearly people with millions to spend, they're not taking any chances. We've spoken to a few of the guys protecting these homes. They're really nice, they're just doing a job. You know, some of the time they don't even know who they're working for, but you can understand why people are frustrated and angry that certain areas like this are getting this special protection.
Yes, I believe you have seen this California Pacific Palisade fire update. The richest people in Los Angeles are paying for their own personal fire trucks to protect their homes. People have raised a lot of questions about this, about how ethical it is when school, care homes, ordinary people houses have been destroyed and the public fire service is struggling. This is actually a good question. When you look at the whole situation, when you don't have money, you are gone. Your home is gone. Why should this be happening? That is a question I've seen on social media. People raising it is important. I show you this lady who confronted Gavin Newsom the other day had an interview with Piers Morgan. She spewed out, "Oh Lord."
Why is the president not taking your call?
Because it's not going through. So
Why?
I have to get cell service.
So
There's
let's
no
get
cell
it.
service.
Let's get it. I want to be here when you call the president.
So the question is, has the governor lived up to his word? But joining me now is Rachel herself. Rachel, great to have you on Uncensored. I watched that with mounting anger, actually, on your behalf, because you were just getting so obviously fobbed off by Gavin Newsom, and your anger was palpable and entirely justified. How do you feel now that everyone's seen this video? How do you feel about it?
I'm an American, Piers. Thanks for having me on. Am I allowed to use the word that starts with W on your show?
Absolutely.
He's a wanker. That's all I can say. It was insanity. It was pure insanity. It's still insanity. I was standing in front of my daughter's preschool, for God's sake, Methodist preschool, looking at the rubble of her school, looking at the rubble of school where all those kids, I was up on a mountain coming down the hill when the fire started. I was one of the first people to know about this fire. I got to tell you, we were the second home in at the top of the hill. It took me 5 hours to get down the hill. Not a single fire truck, not a single bit of assistance, no warning, no nothing. And then to come down the hill, ask somebody else to watch my daughter, and then know that that person's house burned down. And in a matter of moments, to see that I'm standing in front of the man who's been in charge of my state since 2011 in some way, shape, and form. Well, there's so much that goes on inside of you, and I just had to ask him. And then to be lied to so bald-faced, I'm looking at his phone. He actually offered his phone to me, Piers.
And was he on the phone to President Biden, do you think, or did he make that up?
Was he on the phone with President Biden? The cameras were running, obviously. I caught him from the time I was in my vehicle with the Sky TV, and I rushed over to him. I didn't do anything to change his particular circumstances. He was not on the phone with the president. The very first call on his call log was to a woman. It was his wife.
Yes, you can clearly understand when I call Gavin Newsom a big liar. This lady actually caught him red-handed, lying, "Oh, I was just on a call with President Biden. Nothing of such happened." Now this lady is coming out to expose everything. Why should this guy continue to do this? I wanted to end covering this topic, but I said, no, I have to continue. While we continue with some inaugurations, I will be updating you on videos relating to what is going on. We have to actually know the truth because people are not stopping. Videos are surfacing everywhere.
If that's leadership, I have a different definition. I imagine it would be universally felt here. It's I'm not meeting Democrats, I'm not meeting Republicans, I'm not meeting Californians. I'm meeting American citizens desperate in need. And what they need is empathy, care, compassion, understanding. They need support, not rhetoric, not strings attached. I mean, I met families who lost not only their home, but their business and their church, their sense of self, place, community. They had a Zoom the other night, and everyone broke down crying because all they wanted to do was see the faces of one another. And yet that's the face of leadership in the United States of America, conditioning aid to the American people in need, politicizing this tragic moment. So I'll spare any more commentary on it, except to say I would encourage these people. They're human beings. They're parents. I respect that. Come out here. Visit with these folks. And let's have a conversation after that.
I think it's important for people to understand that this is not historically, traditionally how federal assistance happens. It's typically done with strong bipartisan support, rarely with conditions that are as limiting as what they're suggesting.
No.
What is that about? Is it because California is considered a blue state? Why?
It's familiar. You know, the president-elect said of the previous governor of California, I hate Jerry Brown. He said in 2018 he was going to withhold FEMA funding because of fundamental disagreements. So they transcend. He's done that in Puerto Rico. He's done it in other states. So it's a state of mind, and that's well established, and was part of what I think people understood when they reelected him. But we hope that's just rhetoric. There is no success, American success, without California's success. So we're all in this together. That's why I have an open hand, not a closed fist with the president-elect. I want him to come out here. I'm sincere about that.
If he came out here, there are some reports that he might be considering a trip, though you haven't heard about it, to come out here after inauguration.
I honestly have a deep confidence he'll come out, and we're anticipating he'll come out. And I think it's a very good thing. And we'll be very grateful and gracious when he comes out, and we look forward to working with him on this recovery.
What do you want him to see when he comes out here?
I want him to meet. I don't want him just to see the damage. I want him to meet with the community.
Yes, it is crazy that Gavin Newsom continue to play this game. I don't understand why every single day this man is calling out Trump. Oh, he's doing this, he's saying this. Wait, Trump is coming there, and see what he will do. Gavin Newsom is the one calling out Trump every single day because Trump criticized him for a very long time based on the failures he's putting out. Now look at what he's saying here. The other day I put out a video where this comedian had this to say. I don't know if you saw that video. I'm going to replay it because I realized the clip didn't go that far.
And then we watch the news or talk to my friends. They all have these concerns. What started these fires? Now, they say it's arsonists. I've heard this theory, and I'm sure there were some arsonists, but there were a lot of elements that came together to make this fire the catastrophe that it was. The winds were 100 miles an hour. L.A. was dry as a bone, and the levees, and there was just too many factors. If you were a rational thinking person, you have to at least consider the possibility that God hates these people. That's not true because West Hollywood was unscathed. Because how can you burn what is already flaming?
And she says it's really just devastating to see. This is the first time many people are actually getting a chance to see their homes and their businesses because they haven't been allowed to get in. It's very strict.
Yes, Deb Chappelle drops a hilarious theory about what started the LA fire. I believe you've seen that. Now going into this second clip, there is something I realized after watching this video. People have to even fake, a lot of things to get into their lands. That is to tell you, giving me the vibes I saw in my way.
She says it's really just devastating to see. This is the first time many people are actually getting a chance to see their homes and their businesses because they haven't been allowed to get in. It's very strict. The National Guard is making sure that you have your ID that has your address. And for us as well, we've had to show our press pass to be able to get in. And in fact, just yesterday, we had a National Guards member tell us that they've even seen fake press passes because so many homeowners were just trying to get in. And I spoke with a homeowner in the Pacific Palisades last night who told me he knew one of his neighbors had made a fake news pass just to be able to go in there and take pictures of his home so that he could give to his insurance company to be able to get some kind of relief right now, Adrian.
And every time I've heard about this story, it's so sad that they can't go back. But there are too many looters who are pretending that they belong in those neighborhoods.
This is what Jimmy had to say, pertaining to what Trump put out. I understand. Anything Trump says, they always go off, I don't know, maybe just for clicks or what exactly.
This is good. Donald Trump, while everybody has been worried that he won't do anything to help us, turns out we're wrong. This morning he wrote, "It is my honor to announce Jon Voight, Mel Gibson, and Sylvester Stallone to be special ambassadors to a great but very troubled place, Hollywood."
Elon Musk confirmed that what this lady is saying is the truth.
Palisades looks like, you know, unfortunately Gaza or one of these war-torn countries where awful things have happened. So, and there are fires now breaking out everywhere. So it feels totally bizarre to be talking about a movie.
I'll be laying out a plan for how we recover.
And sparks move things. And it doesn't matter how much water you have.
Thank you guys for always been there sharing on my videos. I don't like to make the videos long. Reason I always cut it at this point for
future president and his gag
are a function of their flawed morality and policy.
The problem with California is forestry management.
We're triggering total collapse.
The city of the Pacific Palisades is burning, and
Trump is now calling that Gavin Newsom should step down.
This is you getting water to areas that need water because there are fires in 100-mile-an-hour winds.
The situation is beyond control.
Insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
What do we do?
Right now you're looking
History, remember it.
as a country about and then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know, but it's like, you know, it's sad.
I want to be
Jim Jordan.
in the 5 tenants of
Palisades Village right here. This is the town center of sorts.
Down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns.
Forward. We're going to move forward on